In the wake of that, in the wake of the death of Elijah McClain, Aurora city leaders are now looking at passing their own police reform.
But we found out taxpayer money is going to groups who are lobbying against those police reforms, and the city doesn't like it. Denver 7 investigator Jennifer Kovaleski reports.
Hands up!
These are the voices of a generation.
No justice, no peace. Elijah McClain.
This is Aurora, Denver's George Floyd.
Their message helps state lawmakers pass a sweeping police reform bill.
Senate Bill 217 is passed.
Now, Aurora city leaders are becoming their own agents of change.
The events of the last several weeks and months are what made this come to the forefront for me.
Curtis Gardner is a councilman and vice chair of Aurora's Public Safety Committee. He's the guy behind a new kind of police reform effort.
It's really a transparency and accountability thing.
Gardner is proposing an ordinance that would ban taxpayer-funded lobbying. If you're wondering why this matters when it comes to police and fire, it turns out several organizations the city pays membership dues to are actively lobbying against police reforms.
We're made up of chiefs of police from large cities all across the U.S. They not only lobby at the state level, but also at the federal level. And so they are organizations that can have significant influence.
And how much money are we talking?
We're talking $10,000 to $15,000, but to me, it's the principle.
Gardner found taxpayers are spending nearly $13,000 a year paying these organizations. The largest amount went to the major city's Chiefs Police Association. The city also pays dues to the Colorado Association of Chiefs of Police, an International Association of Chiefs of Police, or IACP.
And I don't think it's an appropriate use of taxpayer dollars to lobby against the positions that council has taken.
One of those positions is qualified immunity. That's the legal protection that shields officers from civil lawsuits, and what Colorado lawmakers recently did away with. The IACP recently put out a statement strongly opposing those efforts.
That's just one example of why I think it's important to make this change.
Now, to be fair, these organizations do more than just lobbying. They provide training and networking for officers. But the city can't pay for one without the other.
I would like the police department and fire department to find alternatives.
Which brings us back to those voices on the street. For Gardner, this is a way to bring trust back to a community demanding change to police.
I think it's a common sense change that really just gives some accountability in terms of how we're spending our money.
We reached out to Aurora Police and Fire. Both said they can't comment on pending legislation. Gardner plans to formally introduce this ordinance next week. I'm Denver 7 investigator Jennifer Kovaleski.